Have you ever, like, taken a package of M&Ms and just smashed two M&Ms together until, like, one of the shells break, and then take the one that didn't have its shell break and smash it against another one until you get through the whole package and you find the ultimate M&M?
No. Welcome to the ESM Podcast.
What's up, guys? I'm Hannah.
I'm Tanner.
It's like you know, you can...
What's your name?
What? Oh! I don't know. James?
I will.
I just want to keep talking about M&Ms.
We know.
Same crew as last time.
Yeah.
Same location. James's cabin out in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
Proud machete on the wall.
Yeah, good times.
Still hanging there? Yep.
Yeah, we haven't moved
the
it.
machetes. Guest appearance from the machete.
And the air conditioner.
Yeah, if you can hear there. So,
various other knives.
Anyway, why the fuck would you do that to M&Ms?
So you can find the strongest M&M, and then you can like send it back to the people who make M&Ms and have them selectively breed them to make stronger M&Ms.
This is the god to M&Ms.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was
Sorry, I hit the table.
That's probably really loud.
This was a whole study.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway.
All right.
No, I mean...
Okay.
No, who does that?
No, but I want to do that right now.
Yeah. Next time you get a package of M&Ms, I mean, I'm telling you.
Can we go to Dollar General right now and go get some?
Acquire some M&Ms.
I feel like no.
Yeah, we'll just leave the podcast on. It'll do itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, air conditioner.
AC will take care of it.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll record the ghosts.
This is happening on a laptop. We could.
Oh shit!
Drive.
Carry the microphone out there. Yeah.
Oh, episode 2.
ESM on the road.
ESM on the road.
On the road again.
Hey. Well, here we are, episode 2.
Yep.
2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Shut up. So, who here knows what an incel is?
Absolutely.
I don't really.
What the hell is that?
Story
Heard the term
time.
before.
So, recently joined Reddit. I know, I'm behind. But, I found this community, basically. Well, there's incel tiers, and then there's the actual, like, the old incel, like, community board. Like, they have brain cells.
It's a whole system.
It's a whole thing. Don't
look it up.
Just for your own sake, don't look it up. But basically, incel stands for involuntary celibate, and it's a group of like guys who believe that well, for one thing, they have really low self-esteem. They basically believe that they're never ever gonna get laid because they're either not good looking enough, not funny enough, or the chads of the world who they label as like the perfect being, like the jocks, and they get all the girls
Relatable.
and they're all douchebags. Yeah.
They're such assholes, and they hate women. They really just hate women.
some of them can get like pretty violent about it. Most of them are just like, I don't know, neckbeards in their room just doing whatever. But some of the shit they say is kind of really bad.
Like, give me an example.
Give me a minute.
Find incel tiers.
Finding
basically, they believe I'm not gonna say all of them, but a lot of them believe that like women are only on the earth to please men, and like have their own free will. Is
Reversed feminists.
Meninist, isn't that a thing?
Meninist?
I don't know.
Yeah,
They're kind of like men going their own way, which is this very similar thing. Except
Right.
I think MGTOW is like more violent or something. But they call females femoids.
Femoids.
Something like that. Yeah, they're quite the characters.
It's no longer relatable.
Yeah, do not become an incel, James. Like, they're... Find a good one on incel tiers. We'll read it out.
Okay, well here's a perfect definition. So the title of the post is, I finally got a girl to agree to go on a date with me, but I fucked it up. And then somebody commented on this post and said, that's what I mean. I'm a poorly socialized virgin, but I've read a lot about women that I'd consider myself an expert. But it's not gonna work, so I'm not gonna try. So that's pretty much
not, that's not even a good example.
No, it is. That's that. That's
I mean, it is,
That's the
but-
incel idea. Okay, so it's not like a women hating thing. Let me find.
Oh, I got it.
Find some women hating stuff.
Yeah.
But that's
Because we all hate
Don't
women
isolate
here.
them.
that's that.
Incel tears.
But yeah, that's the idea of it. It's just, dude, it's very sad. It'll kind of bum you out after a while.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
The dark side of Reddit.
yeah, like the nice nice guys or r/.
Oh, nice. I say nice guys.
girls. Both of them. Nice guys are kind of like the ones that are like who are approach being nice, but they're like overly stalkish and stuff. And then as soon as you turn them down, they're like, "Oh, fuck you! You're just like all the other girls." So the shortest, sweetest one I can show is this one that says, it's a green text. It says, "All women are whores. I can't get laid." That's it. That's all it says. That's the
Fair
general
enough.
idea of them.
Well, that's the general idea. Well,
If you want to be sad, look it up. If you don't, stay out of it. It's
yeah,
not worth your time.
it's not at all.
This is ESM. We're education system.
Society of Mongoloids.
Yeah. Yep, that's what that stands for.
Okay, I was thinking about this, like whether or not we should reveal what ESM actually stands for.
Or should we leave it a mystery?
I like the mystery better.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I prefer.
We can leave it.
People
till
can guess,
later.
and if they guess right, they get a pat on the back.
And if
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of them is better than what it actually stands for, we'll just secretly take that one and then
yeah, we'll pretend like it was that all along.
and we'll change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
if Mongoloid's offensive, I don't think it is.
Just quickly Google the word mongoloid.
I really want to make sure it wasn't like a rude word. I apologize in advance.
Isn't it, what does it mean?
Mongoloid,
It's like a-
relating to the broad division of humankind, including the indigenous people of Eastern Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Arctic region of North America. That sounds like it could be something.
No, it's like ancient.
It's like,
Mong.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
It's basic.
You mole.
like the...
Yeah, you mong.
I thought it was like what you
Well-
would call a Mongol. Is like, you know, you
like a
call
Mong.
somebody from Australia an
it's,
Australian.
I think the general idea of it, like as meme format, is like someone who is not very bright. I feel like could be. I don't know.
Who knows?
Neanderthal.
Knave.
Basically, yeah.
So what have you guys been up to?
Literally nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Video games and...
Yeah. Yeah.
And my name's James. Bam.
Oh,
There we go.
In the
Somebody
podcast.
get this man a Grammy!
Spitting bars. I'm mostly just really waiting to go back to college. Like, I'm bored at home alone doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like it. I mean,
Working, playing video games. I was gonna have a summer class going on, but that got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes.
rest
Yeah,
in
no,
peace.
I've just been playing video games and driving. I think we said this last time.
It got,
Like,
it
No,
got
I don't think
canceled
so.
when you were in Arkansas, didn't it?
Yeah, it did on that trip. Arkansas is a beautiful state.
It is.
I will say that.
Absolutely.
We go hiking there a lot.
And we all
I
fail at
really like it.
wakeboarding. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I never tried it, so I'm not gonna call myself a failure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That's the trick to life. If you don't try something, you're not a failure at it.
Well,
I guess it's
What's that saying? I was trying to think of that saying. It was like
you miss 100%
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah, that's the one. I
So
was
you
trying to
missed
think of.
all those
Yeah,
shots.
you missed
So
every
you
shot.
suck,
Damn it, I
basically.
like taking shots.
Yeah.
According to Michael Jordan
Thanks, Michael.
and Michael Scott,
And Michael.
you suck.
I don't know about that. I mean, Michael Scott's like my hero, man.
No, that's from the show. He let sub credits himself. It's like Michael Jordan, Michael Scott.
Explaining the joke.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm good at comedy.
The best jokes need explanation.
So, what's your guys' favorite state?
Steak or state?
No, what's your guys' like favorite vacation?
Perfect
Good
segue.
segue.
Okay, sure. Favorite state.
So where did we eat today, James?
We ate at an amazing restaurant, specifically a Brazilian steakhouse. The name which it goes by is Fogo de Chão. That was an English sentence.
It's
I
it's
think.
kind of a fancy place, way out of our budget. We are not.
We spent
rich,
too much
fancy
money
Brits. Yeah.
eating there. Yeah.
It's because James had a coupon and the rest of us don't like ourselves, so we
Yeah.
spent a lot of money.
It was excellent, though. I've eaten there a couple times before. None of these guys have eaten at that steakhouse. Will has eaten at a Brazilian steakhouse before.
And I have eaten steak before.
Yeah,
So we're all kind of experienced.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all
we've
experts.
we've all had a cow food. As in,
As in grass?
As in no, not as in
grains. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
As
I
in-
love cow.
as in food that derives from the cow, not what
Beef
the cow
is the word you're looking
Okay, we
for.
get it.
Sure.
Cow food.
There are no vegans in this room.
We've all had meat in our
So we
mouths.
apologize.
See, here's the thing. Cow food could also it's a broader category because cow food includes dairy, but dairy does not include beef. Therefore, cow food is the
But none of us had
overarching
any
category that
milk.
includes both.
What is going on?
All right,
All right.
that's enough about food today, guys.
Very true.
Sorry,
Okay.
foodies.
So, if you guys were to explain a Brazilian steakhouse to somebody who hasn't gone to one, like somebody try and explain it.
But
Will, or one of you guys that hasn't gone to one before?
the impression I got was, of course, I've only been once. This is the only one I've been to. We paid for the something experience, some
the
fancy
full
word.
churrasco.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
basically, they had these little almost like beer coasters, sort of. That had one side said no, the other side said yes. It was red and green. And basically, if you wanted something like a steak or whatever they run by, you switch it over to the green side, and they'd bring you by. They walk around with different meats basically on these. I don't know. What they
Yeah,
call
all
them.
different skewers basically.
Yeah,
they walk
and they'll
around
cut you
with,
off a piece, and then you take it, and if you don't want it, you say no, thank you, and you wait for the next one. And it's like a variety. They bring by we had lamb, we had sirloin, top sirloin, and bottom sirloin.
There's a bacon wrapped fillet.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I did not know steaks had tops and bottoms. I thought it was just
There's
steak.
a lot of different areas of the cow that
Yeah.
steaks can be cut
There's
from.
power
Yeah.
dynamics in every
It-
in everything.
It
True.
mostly determines the tenderness where the steak is cut from. There's an area of the cow called the tenderloin, and that's the most tender area.
James,
of the
I'm
cow,
gonna need
pretty much.
you to
It's
shut
his
up with the actual education.
Okay.
It's his most tender loin.
I could talk
is-
for a good while about
It was
different
really,
cuts of steak and
it's
things.
very good. I highly recommend if you like meat.
Very tender and
Really
mild.
good. Pretty expensive.
Yeah, it was about, what was it? We all paid, including tip, about $42 each.
Yeah.
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 Well, except James, he had a coupon. But
I
fuck him,
had a
you know?
free meal. Because
For Father's Day.
Yeah, I had
Because James is a proud dad.
I'm a
James
proud
is a
father,
proud
not
father.
actually.
Not, yeah,
Um,
don't take that literally.
No.
None of us are parents.
I just happened
None
to
of
get
us in
one.
ESM are parents.
You
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Well, Daddy Tanner, maybe, but
You brought it up, all right. You caused
I
yourself.
asked for that.
Okay, should we explain why we call Tanner Daddy? It's not. It's not.
not
It's
like-
not what you think.
It's not sexual, okay?
At all.
it's the actual
At all.
when we were kids and we called, it was before Daddy was a dirty word, which,
We just call him Dad. Tanner's dad.
Yeah,
He's
Tanner's
not Dad.
dad.
For a couple of different
Dad.
reasons. One is for his terrible jokes that tend to
His dad
be
jokes,
of,
yes.
of the quality of dad level.
yeah, Tanner is a meme.
Also, he
you.
used to, and still does occasionally, I think, babysit a lot with
I don't
little
really-
brothers.
I don't really need to babysit much
Okay.
anymore.
But
But,
he
yeah.
does, but he does have two little brothers, and he has a lot of little, small family members.
Not some small, not some
Some
small,
small- yeah.
not some small boys who will light the
As we
house on fire.
established last podcast, baby girls hate him, but baby boys.
Baby boys.
Baby boys love them.
Okay, 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 okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We're not.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
I've been called
That's-
daddy,
yeah.
and
No, we need to. We'll cut that off.
cut it out.
Alright. But yes.
It's staying.
It's not good.
Oh,
Spoiler
God.
alert. Incredible.
And
yeah.
he plays golf, or he used to.
I used to. I was never good.
That was a big part of the dad thing too.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never.
I think for me it was. I guess.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That makes sense.
I was always kind of good at mini golf, but never actual
I
proper
hate-
golf.
All forms of golf.
Really?
It's not entertaining. I don't like it.
Oh,
I've played.
dude.
I've
don't
been
know,
to
it's
Top
kinda-
Golf. I've played mini golf. Never tried
You don't
the
like
big
Top Golf?
courses. No.
We went to Top
Golf is.
Golf.
If he does, okay.
We went
I
to
just
Top Golf
not
with you
a
once.
That's right for
suppose-
somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
I
We-
suppose
we were-
my first experience at Top Golf was with a whole bunch of, not to stereotype, but it was a whole bunch of white girls, and they were they had a bottle of rum in the car, and we'd go out and drink something and come back in, and
Wow.
it was,
What
and
a time.
it was with a group of people that I wasn't friends with. I only went because it was the only girl I knew there. It was her birthday, and she invited me. And I went there, and it was a whole bunch. It was her and a whole bunch of her friends that I had no idea who they were, but they were the very stereotypical white girl. I did not fit in at all, and it was just not a great experience. I passed out on her floor later.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
just-
Nice.
You went with us when we all went Or
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah.
birthday.
Still
I
wasn't.
can't remember
Still
his
wasn't good.
birthday.
I don't like things that I'm not good at.
Right.
No, we need. Okay, that's why we need to. Next time we go, we need to go on the third floor. Just third floor. If you
we're on the back. We're on the
literally
back.
like
Yeah,
kind of hit the ball, it'll just like the gravity will just take it.
I think I was
Yeah.
on the third floor when I went with the
Really?
girls. Yeah.
We were on the first when we went as a group.
First-
She,
I
cause
know.
her dad had like a VIP membership.
Oh.
She was like rich.
Okay, first you actually gotta be like good at golf to do.
Yeah,
well.
and I'm not, and I don't think I will ever be. So,
I will tell you something that is
sports
fun.
segment, bam.
Bam! Sports!
Sports!
Go, Tanner!
Basketball's happening. LeBron.
End! Alright! There was our conclusion of our sports segment. Excellent.
Hope you enjoyed.
I will say the one kind of activity that I enjoyed and I would love to do again is indoor skydiving. I went a little while back for my birthday last year. It was the first time and only time I did it. I've only done it once. There was this place called... I can't remember what it was called.
I
Fly.
iFly, yeah, because I
In
think I
Frisco,
asked you
right?
guys a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's right next to the mall, isn't it?
Stonebriar.
Yes. Yeah, it's in that area.
Yeah, I've never been skydiving. I would want to go real life skydiving. I don't think indoor because
No,
I
I'm
love
the exact
nature. I want to
opposite.
see. If I'm gonna skydive, I want to see things. I want to see like the views.
That's
and the
too
height.
real.
That sounds hype.
Yeah, and then I want to not pull my shoe.
It would be...
Yeah.
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 See, if you're gonna do that, then yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna like pull the wire and it just not happen.
Well, it's kind of
That's why
cool
you
because the
Oh.
more you go to this place, the more you go to iFly, they'll teach you like how to do like tricks and things like in the air. Like you can do like somersaults and stuff. The more you go,
How many times
and they'll
have
give
you
you.
been?
I've only been once, but I have a certificate literally on that shelf over there on the top.
Oh.
That shows your.
Maglev Leviathan.
No,
levitation.
that's
Oh.
not. Hang on here. Let me grab it.
Is that
Alright.
is that like a headset?
James
or-
is walking around the small room that we're in.
Oh.
Dude, James, you have North Texas shorts.
I do. I
Whoa.
have North Texas shorts.
Whoa, represent my man.
Yeah, it's a college that I don't even go to. So yeah, so this is my iFly certificate.
Happy B-Day, James Riddle.
Yeah, it was my
Oh, whoops.
birthday. You said you exposed my last name. How dare you?
He's
It's
ruined.
Fine. It's fine. I'm related to Voldemort. It's common knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
So they give you these check marks. I actually did more than you were scheduled to your first time because you're not supposed to like try to turn and everything. But I was like, I'm an adventurer, so whatever.
Naturally.
So he gave me extra checks. But basically, the more times you go, the more forgiving they'll be with you. The first time you go, they're kind of making sure you're not flying away and crashing into the walls and everything. But the more you go, the more like they'll just let you go and kind of like
pretty
experiment.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll also do like shows. They'll like do a couple like performances occasionally where they'll have like one or two people, sometimes 3 or 4,
Oh,
in this
wow.
small tube. It's a wind tunnel a vertical wind tunnel.
Yeah.
And they'll like do tricks. They'll like fly up and down this giant tunnel and they'll be like spinning and sink and
Yeah.
everything. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
I have to say,
iFly.
Yeah.
So Tanner,
Seen that stuff. Oh, what?
would you do skydiving? Like for real?
Like real
IRL.
skydiving?
Give me a year or two. Give me some time to think about it. Honestly.
Need a few more years under
Yeah,
your belt before
yeah,
you decide
honestly.
I
you
gotta
want to
complete
risk it.
some of my bucket list.
Rather
before
not
I go.
die at night.
I think I probably would.
Yeah.
Right now?
I think I
I'm
probably
so
would. I don't know if I would like right now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I would.
I'm really down for it.
If I had to pay for it, probably not.
Oh yeah, if somebody
I
gives it to me for free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
then-
much?
sure.
Do you guys have any idea how much it is to go on like a?
Ask Alyssa. She went.
Oh, I
Has
forgot
she
about
gone
that.
skydiving?
Yeah, she did for her
went.
birthday.
Alyssa is our
Right.
vegan friend.
Truly.
Yes.
Yes, she's our honorary our box ticking vegan for our group.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, she is the.
So we can make vegan jokes and not seem
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
She's-
'Cause that's a
freaking
really big-
vegans.
we have an excuse. We have a friend that's vegan. So.
Yeah, we mess with her all the time about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Would you skydive, Will?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
Never do
Really?
real life skydiving.
Never.
Oh no, I want to see. I want to see everything.
Now, if I had a
I
dude
love
like
nature.
strapped onto me, and he's like,
Oh, I love having
No,
dudes
don't.
strapped on.
Isolate.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. If I had like a worker
Oh, man.
who was like making sure I don't die, there we go. I pulled it
Okay.
off. Then yeah, I would feel more comfortable doing it, but just didn't like push off a plane and be like, good luck.
I want to go
I'd be
hang
so
gliding.
down.
That's what I want to do.
See, that's more scary to me because you don't get a. Do you have a parachute when you hang?
I'd imagine you.
Because I feel like that's
get a
kind of
parachute or
terrifying because
something.
you're just holding onto like a
Oh, that would be kind of
canvas triangle flying through the air.
I think it'd be cool because you're in the air longer. When you're skydiving, you're actually in the air for like I think because I learned this
Very
at iFly.
short.
You're like less than 30 seconds or something. like at traditional skydiving heights.
Yeah.
You're just free falling, that is.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean, honestly, I don't know.
it's like it's a short time.
That seems more scary to me. Or even like the, what do they call those? Like the squirrel suits? I
The
don't know
flying
what
squirrel
they're
suits.
called.
I was gonna bring them
Those
up.
would be cool. I'd probably
That would be
do that.
even more scary.
Bust my
That would
ass.
be terrifying.
Because you gotta
Have you
go
seen
down.
the YouTube videos of the guys like flying through like rock
Yes,
formations? and
Yes!
things?
I played
That is-
GTA,
that
okay,
looks-
chill.
Yeah, that looks absolutely terrifying.
It's
But
like the game
Or Far Cry?
Just Cause also.
Yeah, Far Cry, that's a big thing. Especially in the newer ones.
And James got a
Yeah.
free copy of Far Cry 5.
I did,
very-
yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
this mic.
Will
Damn.
bought this microphone. ESMR session, thank you. Yeah, this amazing microphone. And it came with a free copy of Far Cry 5.
Wow.
Will already had it. So
I
got it for
enjoy the
free.
Far Cry series. Some people don't. Just do each your own.
I
but
believe
I've
it.
never played
I
one
really
of the Far
like
Cry
it.
games.
So,
My brother played them, and I watched him play a little bit.
It's a
ages ago,
I really
like
like them.
three, I think.
I played every single one except
Have you
1 and
played
2.
all the way through the newest one?
Yeah.
5? What do you think of the story compared to the previous 2, 4 and 3?
It's really annoying that like you get shoved into the main mission. Like you can't. And as far as the main quest goes, they'll basically take you from wherever you are and put you in a cutscene, which is really annoying when you're trying to
Yeah.
get stuff done.
I've seen videos of that. I've seen videos of guys like flying in like a helicopter.
And then yeah,
And they're like, there's no way he's gonna shoot like a poison dart to knock me out.
Yeah,
and then they
the
do
bullets.
from the ground. And it's like,
so annoying. If that mechanic wasn't in the game, which it is, and you have to do it 3 times per region, and there's 3 regions, it would be a much better game in my opinion. But I liked the storyline.
kind of takes the open world out of the open world.
Yeah, it really does. You know, because I like it better when you can go to a location when you're ready to do the main mission instead
Yeah.
of being kind of forced into it. And even if you do side quests, like you push your progress further, and then they'll take you again. So like if you do anything, basically if you do enough like side quests and stuff, you're still gonna get pulled into the main mission even if you don't want to, which is
Yeah.
kind of annoying. But I enjoyed the storyline. I thought it was pretty good, and it was I don't know, it didn't seem to like, obviously it was vaguely political.
Yeah, when it first came out, I thought it was gonna be super on the nose with like
No.
all the like political stuff.
It was more making.
But it was more like religion based.
It was
than
cults,
politi-
like,
It was
called-
like fanatic kind
Yeah,
of.
so
Yeah.
the cult that you're going against is called Eden's Gate, which if you know of the old like cult stories, then in the real life there was Heaven's Gate, there was there was an Eden something, I don't remember, but it's basically y'all are playing footsies with the cord. I don't.
That doesn't need
Don't
to be
worry about
mentioned.
it. Don't worry about it.
But, I don't remember exactly, but I know for sure there's Heaven's Gate, and there's a few other cults that it is very similar to,
Yeah.
even as far as like what the main character
Speaking of
looks
cults,
like.
You watch American Horror Story, right?
I love American Horror Story.
What a transition.
I was like, where's this gonna go?
Have you seen American Horror Story Cult, the newest season? Because
Yes,
that
I think so. That was heavily political.
it was super.
I watched
political.
that one illegally, but we don't need to talk about
It
that.
starts with different people
election.
reacting to the Trump election.
in real life, I think.
Like IRL.
No,
Oh, was it?
there might have been.
but in the intro, it also has all the characters, or at least one character wearing a Trump mask too, which is
yeah, so it's
a
like
really
super
like
on the
cartoony
nose.
one. But
And
yeah, it's incredibly political. Which
But
even
yeah,
like, more so than.
some people didn't like that season. I liked it a lot. I thought it
I
was
wasn't
really
as
good.
big of a fan of it. I don't know. I like it when I can watch TV shows and escape the politics of the world. You know,
That's fair. Yeah.
it's like it's an escapism. It's like you play games and stuff to escape the real world. That's why I don't like games with sad endings, because fuck that. You know.
yeah.
No, kick me in the balls once in a while. That makes it more special.
So like, well, I don't want to spoil Far Cry 5, so I won't talk about the ending of that. But one of the endings I
happens.
really hated, as far as the writing goes, that it was such a cop out. But we won't talk about that.
All right. I believe it was a far cry from the original.
Oh,
Shut
jeez. Now you know Daddy Tanner. Here we are. All
We should
right.
eliminate the daddy part.
But should we call it dad? Can we talk about the word daddy's been ruined?
It really has.
Like, I was,
Yeah,
I was,
sucks.
I was at the
Yeah,
mall,
it sucks.
and I heard like a little like 8-year-old tell us be like, "Hey, daddy." I'm like, "Ew."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just wrong, you know.
Yeah,
One
and
time-
I guess I don't know. Even my friends, like I have 2 now 19-year-old friends, and they call their mom by their first name, and their dad daddy, and they're both our age.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's funny. I call him George, but
George.
George.
Hiya,
George
George.
is young.
I love him so much.
Yo,
But
George.
yeah, no, it's the same thing with. But what do we? I mean, guys have been calling girls baby for a really long time now, so I don't know. Is that similar at all?
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, yeah, it's just the opposite.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I don't.
Like, my brother he doesn't.
But when a mom says like "my baby," it doesn't sound horribly sexual though.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no.
I hear dads all the time, like dads all over the anyway, sorry. SNL. But I hear dads all the time call their little girls like baby girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also hear boyfriends all over the world calling their
True.
girlfriends baby girl.
Okay, I have a theory. So, because
Here we go. It's theory.
Theory
hour.
crafting.
Theory hour.
Okay,
Alright.
so baby girl doesn't sound as sexual because the dad's saying it in a different tone, but daddy seems to always be like,
Daddy.
yeah, daddy, or like it seems like it stays the same, like
Yeah.
in a sexual
Yeah.
sense.
Like I joke about having daddy's credit card a lot, and it's a whole different story now. Like people are like,
Father's credit card.
Well, it used to be a thing. Like you had daddy's credit card. It was like your dad gave you a credit card and you can use it. And stuff like that. And now it's like, do I have a sugar daddy? Who knows? I'm not gonna tell you.
Only if you're in the know do you get to know.
I'll be posting an ESM Insider video later this week.
Oh God. Speaking of the states of America, Florida.
Oh my god.
Florida.
Florida man back.
News. In Florida. This is actually a bit dated, but we're not using it anyway.
Dated. Alright.
Stated news. Florida man causes $100,000 in damage to Walmart liquor store under construction with hot-wired forklift. Gives police his name as Alice Wonderland and says a hookah smoking caterpillar told him to do it.
Hookah.
Okay, speaking of
What is this guy on?
hot wiring forklifts.
Here's his like.
Does he normally have that cracked down? Oh, that's a hair.
That's a hair.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Weird.
It looks a little
Okay.
bit like Robert De Niro.
So speaking
What?
of
He kinda does.
forklifts, we have a friend who shall not be named in this podcast who there was a whole bunch of construction going on about a year or two ago, and we were all hanging out at his house, and his parents were his mom was at work and his dad was like coming home from work. He gets a text from his dad that says the keys are still in, and he runs around. Do you guys remember this? Do you know? What I'm talking
No, I have no idea
I
what
thought
you're
you were talking about me for a second.
me too.
I was like, I know how to drive a forklift.
I have no idea what you're talking
No.
about.
It's anyway.
Someone-
He runs around his house, and I don't remember who was there. It may have.
Is it this S person?
Yes.
Okay.
And he. Wait, which one? Doesn't matter. Just listen.
doesn't matter.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, just listen to the story. You'll understand who
Okay.
exactly
Okay,
what I'm
go
talking.
on,
He runs
go
around
on.
his house for a while. He goes, "Oh, the keys are still in," and we're all like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He goes, "I gotta go, guys." And he comes and he leaves, and so we were at his house without him, so we all have to like kind of go home and stuff. And then we see him the next day, probably at school or something. We're like, "Hey, dude, where did you go yesterday? What are you talking about the keys?" And he's like, "Oh, well, you know how they're doing construction on this like road by our house?" And we're like, "Well, yeah." It's like, well, on his way home, my dad stopped by to see if the keys were still in the forklift, and he sent him a text that said the keys are still in. So they went to this forklift and drove around in it and went mudding in a forklift on the
What?
construction
Oh my
site.
Are you kidding?
This is blank from
Holy
my memory.
I have
don't
no
remember.
idea. I have no idea.
Y'all may not have heard the story. I don't know who
I may
was
not have
there.
heard
It
it.
might have
Okay.
just been me and like one other person.
No way.
It might have just been me.
When
and some
did
person.
Really?
Really?
That's
And
crazy.
we should ask him about it. But
Oh my
he,
God.
Oh,
Yeah, he
God.
told the story. He's like, yeah, we were doing like donuts and construction
What the
vehicles at
hell?
like 9 o'clock at night.
So was
I might vaguely remember this actually.
was it him
Very-
and the other S person?
No, it was him and his dad.
Oh,
Okay.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, it was kind of insane.
That's ridiculous.
That's
can't
crazy.
believe that
The keys are
did
still
that.
in.
That's bad forklift practice. You're never supposed to leave the keys
honestly.
in the ignition
So
if you
yeah,
leave
so
them.
guys, I'm not condoning checking to see
Wow.
if keys are still in construction equipment, but
But
I
you
mean,
definitely
but like
should.
occasionally they still are. You know?
I mean, now that you said that, showed the name, I
have a
just
good
see that
time.
now.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like the
I
most.
think,
like,
It was the most like what the fuck moment I've ever had. Because he just
Yeah.
goes, the keys are still in, and like he like leaves, and we're all like,
I can't believe
oh
it.
okay,
Yeah.
and then
Cool.
comes in the next day.
That is very him to just not explain anything.
just
Yeah.
walk
go.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Very,
I don't want to say his name in case like he could theoretically get in trouble for this. So
I don't think
That's
you would.
no.
I don't think he would either. But
I mean, it's
I still,
Likely, but
theoretically illegal.
yeah. I mean, there's no proof.
Man, that's a crazy story. Except
That's
for
funny.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll ever be on the podcast? I think he.
I hope
Maybe.
so.
Right? Yeah.
I hope so.
Maybe he
man.
could tell you guys the story
Well,
himself.
Well, that narrowed it down. You know what kind of sounds like forklifts? Is
What?
the popular video game Fortnite. Fortnite 7.
Fortnite. All
Let's
right, we
do
got
it.
everyone's
Fortnite.
favorite Fortnite segment.
Fortnite news. Okay.
Fortnite news from yet another 4 people that still don't play it.
Yeah.
College football coaches at a loss when it comes to the popularity of Fortnite. Okay, so this is an article about college coaches talking about how they don't understand Fortnite. Here's a quote. Here's a quote.
I like a good quote.
Here's a quote
From a coach.
from Virginia coach Bronco Mendenhall. That's a cool ass name.
Mendenhall.
I feel like most football
Bron-
players
Sounds very
don't like
fantasy.
saying
Right?
Bronco is his first name. I don't know anything about it. I still don't know anything about it.
Wow.
It's a different world, man. According to Pittsburgh coach Pat Narduzzi,
Oh,
I call a high school kid and ask, "You play that Fort Hill?" I don't even know the name of it, and I hate it. It bothers me that people are into it, but that's the generation we're in. They'd rather do that than work. That's the end of the article.
True.
Wow.
Most of us would rather do a lot of things than work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I like working.
Anybody
Like,
else?
having something to spend time, like you have to spend time and get up in the morning for,
Yeah,
is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Feeling
Especially money.
productive
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yes. Absolutely. So
Yeah, if it's something you can like derive some sort of enjoyment out of,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with starting a YouTube channel, for instance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should do it.
yeah,
Anyway,
simpler.
we can talk about that.
Anybody else have any more Fort Hill stuff to talk about?
No.
Fort Hill.
Hill.
Fourscore.
We need to play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds a bit more because they released that new map.
Oh,
Oh,
the small
guys, okay, remind me to actually buy that this time. Every time we plan to play it, I don't buy it, so I should do that.
Okay.
Have you seen gameplay on it?
Forbes.
I found a Forbes.
Oh,
Forbes.
Forbes.
Forbes article. Here are the new
Cosmetics.
skins and cosmetics
Oh.
in Fortnite's item shop
Hit me
as
up.
of August 2nd,
Hit me
which
up.
is today.
There's a few of them. That's cool. All right. Anyway.
Wait, no,
continue.
that wasn't what
Okay,
we got
no,
it all
no, no.
out.
You gotta hear what we got in stock.
All right.
Give me the new
Okay,
skins.
here they are. Battlehound, legendary outfit.
Okay.
Bandolier, epic outfit.
Nice.
Silverfang, it's a rare harvesting tool.
Is that a fox?
Stop Axe, it's another rare harvesting tool. We got
okay.
Steel Sight, First Strike Special, Eagle, Wiggle. rare remote.
Wiggle?
It's
Just
in a-
period.
that's
Is that like,
an
is that like a
That's an
dance?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
You gotta
gotcha.
wiggle, you know? And then Icebreaker, it's a common harvesting tool, so you can use that for harvesting.
Okay.
commonly.
Yeah.
And then you got a Snow Squall.
Snow
which is
Squall?
like- it's a common glider.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
you
I
can
have to
glide on
say-
it. And what do you
When they said stop axe, I imagined like a stop sign that's been like sharpened to a fine point
Well,
on both sides.
that
Like,
might
You
be
fucking
that-
called it?
although
Look at the
it's
picture.
shaped like an axe. I want someone actually just sharpening the edge of a stop sign and walking around with like a circular battle axe.
Does it
I
have,
feel
like-
like that would be really badass.
Yeah,
Not that.
That's the zombie apocalypse weapon.
All right,
for
when
you.
we
Yes.
make our own game, our weapons are gonna be street signs.
When we made Fortnite 2.
Our spears.
Street
gonna-
Fighter is what we
Our
call it.
spear
Wait,
will
hang
be
on,
the-
that's
It's
taken.
time, it's time.
Hang on, that's not gonna work.
that was
that one might be.
Okay, so to conclude this article, this is what they say. Of course, Fortnite
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale is a completely free-to-play game, so you don't have to spend a dime. You can also get the Season 5 Battle Pass right now and unlock new skins and cosmetics by completing the challenges. So,
Oh my.
which leads me to conclude that Fortnite paid for this article in Forbes.
Hey.
Why?
And it's
Like-
under their innovation category.
Oh,
Wow.
well, actually, isn't that under game? I don't.
Yeah,
Who
it's
freaking cares?
innovation is under game, or games is
Yeah.
under innovation. So yeah.
Wow.
So there's I think we can wrap up our
That's enough.
Fortnite section.
It's enough.
That
for-
sounds
Damn.
pretty good.
It's enough.
Do you guys think you would survive a zombie apocalypse?
No.
No.
Okay.
I would love to think I could. I don't think I actually could, but I have like plans.
We should go to
I've
my
always-
I have a
brother's
plan.
house.
What's your plan?
If a zombie apocalypse happens, I'm heading to Brookshire's and I'm holding out there because I got people. All right. Back when I
They
worked
fired you.
Back when I worked at Brookshire's, no, I got inside men. Right. we were bored a fair amount of the time when
Naturally.
during the slow times and closing. Brookshire's is open to like midnight. People don't buy groceries at midnight. Usually. So we had like 4 people that had this plan for a zombie apocalypse. We would fortify the whole store. There was plenty of food in there that we could ration out, and we could use it as like a base of operations. So bam, there it is. If zombie
See-
apocalypse
Bam.
happens, head to Brookshire's. I'll
See,
be there.
my brother
Armed.
and his wife are pretty high up in the Navy, and my brother has, I believe, over 30 guns because he's one of those guys.
Bit of a
So, a bit of a gun nut, yes. So I think I would definitely, if I wanted to survive, I would definitely go to his place. He also lives on a military base, so that might help.
Armaments are good for a zombie apocalypse. I have one in this room.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
a machete?
And no, I have a firearm in this room somewhere.
Is it a 22?
Guess if you could find it. No, it's an AR-15.
Oh shit.
Nice. It's in the cabinet.
I
It's
don't.
not.
I don't
under your
have
bed.
my gun
It is.
anymore. I don't. Have it anymore. I don't.
Congrats, you won a
Yeah.
prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, guns are a thing.
What's your guys' zombie survival plan?
Jump off a. Well, I know. I can't say.
Would you rather? Would you like to live in a world that's like
No.
in a zombie apocalypse
No, I wouldn't.
world? Yeah.
No, I feel like I really wouldn't because. I mean,
Okay, maybe not zombie apocalypse, but some kind of apocalypse. I think that would be kind of fun. I mean, it wouldn't be fun.
In
It
a-
would be.
in a
but-
very
I would-
objective video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be.
Standpoint.
I'd kind of like. I would be down. You know, to spice things up from the.
I feel like
normal
depending
days,
on what
days.
apocalypse it was, like if there's any kind of like zombie thing, I feel like no, thank
Yeah.
you. But if it's like no one's dying except from killing each other, like kind of like Fallout, I feel like I
Yeah,
could do
this
it.
leads me to a different,
When things are trying to kill
similar
you
question.
for no reason, it's a different story. I think.
If you could live in any video game, what video game would you choose
Dragon Age.
to live in?
Dragon Age.
Oh, that's a good question.
League
Dragon
of
Age-
Legends. No. No.
Dragon Age Inquisition is in my top 5 video games of all time because I'm a nut for. I do nut for story games and yeah. I'm a bit of a bitch for stuff like that. I love and medieval, and magic and elves.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely.
That's all, folks.
Alright.
It definitely have to be like a world, like a video game where like magic is a thing.
Yeah.
I
So
love magic in video games.
here's a stipulation.
Absolutely.
Do you get to be the main character of the game? So like if I were gonna say Dragon Age Inquisition, do I get to be the Inquisitor?
Do I get to be Mr. Dragon Age?
Or am I just in the
Mr.
world?
Dragon Age?
I think you're just in the world, but you have all the same.
in a world?
Let's say you
potential-
have.
Theoretical abilities.
Yeah, theoretically, you can do
It's-
all the same kind of stuff as if you were the main character, but you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like in a lot of video games world, you're not the only one with in some, you're not the only one who can learn how to wield a sword. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people aren't stupid most of the time. So
I think I would live in the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm
The
not
entire-
sure. No,
the entire world.
I'm not sure that's
A bit of a.
You could just make that
That's a-
life.
Yeah.
that's a bit of a cop
Well, you
out.
could.
Like in fantasy.
Like the traditional fantasy, like one of the pre-made campaigns, which I actually don't think any of y'all have ever played.
No, like
No.
which one though? Tell us about it.
Well, there's a bunch of different like pre-made campaigns that you can run.
Which one would you live in? That's the point.
Oh, I've only played one of them.
That
So
one.
that one.
So yeah, that one. Great, good talk. Yeah.
What is it
I don't know,
like?
I feel
Medieval? Is it like Space Age?
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons itself, with no tweaks, no extra off-brand books or anything, is a fantasy kind of setting. However, there are a bunch of different role-play systems like GURPS and things that can change like the timeline and all that kind of stuff. But traditional D&D, if you play just like straight out of the 5e book, it's like strictly kind of meant to be played in like a fantasy setting, different classes, that kind of universe on the Sword Coast.
All right.
That would be where I'd like to be in.
What world would you choose, Will?
I would choose, kind of going back to the apocalyptic world thing, I would probably choose Fallout New Vegas, even though it'd be living hell, because you're in a scorched desert.
Yeah.
There's fallout
There's
everywhere.
radiation, yeah.
But
Mutated creatures.
there's also New Vegas, which is like Vegas, but at
New.
Vegas, but like even more trash
So,
than it already is.
Yeah, so you could just like go hang out at the casinos all the time and not even have to face the deserts if you didn't
Yeah,
want
but
to.
I mean, you still have to make caps, money, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You still have to learn self-defense skills. You know,
Yeah.
people are
yeah,
cutthroat.
that'd be mine.
If you could learn a martial art, what martial art would you learn?
No. We want to hear Tanner's answer.
Oh,
before we do.
okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You gotta answer the other one.
I really like the world of the new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild.
That's a good one.
I really
That
like
is a
that
good one.
one.
It's very
That
pretty.
it's a bit peaceful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
peaceful,
yeah.
very
it's
open.
kind of a gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gorgeous
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I
Plus
feel
there's-
that.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, we all chose like
Horrible.
apocalyptic, like
We're all gonna be
dangerous.
fucking
like,
dead. Day one, we're gonna be dead, and you're gonna be just like,
Chilling in a meadow.
you're gonna be like,
I want to live in Splatoon.
dress up as Princess Zelda and have just Link save you all the time.
Nice. Nice.
Perfect.
Takes 100 years, but
Yeah, so if you could learn learn a martial art today and just be a master of it, what would it be?
I don't know. I don't really know that many.
yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Or if you could train with like a traditional like medieval weapon or something.
Ooh.
How about that?
That's a good
Change,
one.
that's a better.
Ooh. I feel like I want
Morning
a
Star.
staff.
The Morning Star. That's a solid,
Yeah.
nice.
yeah, that's what I would do.
I feel like I would want like a staff because I think the art of like staff wielding is very like graceful and
Like a
kind of
bow
beautiful.
staff, you know?
Like a bow staff, or even like one of them like what's the one? I don't know what it's called, but it has like a blade on the end, like a nagatina.
Like a wand down? A pole arm?
I don't know.
Some
It
sort
doesn't
of-
matter. Something like that. Because
Right,
I feel
yeah.
like it looks like they're dancing. It looks very graceful, and it's also not based on like stature that much, which
Like,
would help me a lot, I think, because I am a tiny person.
Like, do you want what Oberyn uses in Game of Thrones? His
Similar.
staff?
Minus the like head splitting by the mountain. Spoiler. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.
Rest in
He
peace.
Whoops.
presses his eyes into his brain.
Jesus.
It's disgusting.
That was a scene.
Yeah, it was quite the scene. Oh god.
Give me the big boy sword. Give me the two-handed
He's just
sword.
straight up
Big
just
boy.
a big boy sword.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like I'd take like a mace, some sort of like a ball and chain, like kind of mace,
Yeah.
or maybe like
Yeah.
nunchucks or something. A flail, that's the term. I'm looking
Flea, yeah, I was
for.
about to say that.
I'd be ready to hit myself. Like you start.
Well,
swinging,
if
it's
I could
like,
if I could be master of it, it'd look really cool. you know?
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
You know,
I guess.
so-
Yeah, that's a yeah. God, anything.
If not magic, I would rather.
Oh,
do
I mean,
it.
yeah,
well,
man.
Oh, yeah, well, that's.
But
That would
that's
be
like
cool.
in
That's
the
not
world-
medieval.
Who
the
wouldn't
re-
want
in
to
the
be able to just
real
conjure
world.
fire out of their hands? or
Honestly,
whatever,
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
It's like, God, Deadpool 2 all over.
S'mores.
What?
S'mores.
All right, s'mores.
Oh, what are your guys' opinion on s'mores? You don't like s'mores?
I don't like
I
marshmallows.
love s'mores.
Love s'mores.
Don't
One
like
of my
marshmallows.
favorite things in life are s'mores.
I'm actually not like the hugest fan of like the complete s'more.
Really?
Yeah.
What do
I
you-
prefer to eat like just a marshmallow or just like chocolate, like kind of separated.
Interesting.
Yeah. A s'more. The s'more is like a perfect ideal. You never get there when you're making a s'more. It's like a fucking mess.
Yeah,
You
no,
can always
eat
do
it.
better, but yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to make them on a couple of our camping trips. I think.
Keyword in there is try.
Try it.
Yeah, there was not
You
much
always
success.
try to make a
Yeah.
s'more. And you end up just eating some.
Eating some, like,
yeah.
graham
You just have-
crackers.
yeah.
No.
It's kind of a mush ball.
Yeah.
Of everything.
It's a good mush ball, though. I love it still.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
good.
I'm just not a fan. I just
You
can't
like-
get past marshmallows. I just
Really?
don't like marshmallows. But as far as like campfires, I love bonfires.
They
and
make you
campfires and
mellow?
stuff. Shut up.
Sorry.
We have so we live in the country, so there's a lot of room and ability to have bonfires and campfires and stuff. So that's something we
True.
try to do a lot. But we don't really. But it's so cool to just sit around a fire with all your friends and just like chill and talk.
Yeah.
So, speaking of living in the country, James, I believe you have a supernatural story.
Oh, I do.
Yes, it's spooky story time.
I have a supernatural experience. I'm not gonna call it a ghost story because I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get into this.
It's just kind of like a unknown. Like, we don't really know what it was.
Yeah, it's the only kind of supernatural experience I've ever had. Yeah, it was
It was here, wasn't it?
It was here, not in this building, but it was at this location. It was probably my junior year, I think, of high school. And I was up, I think it was over the summer at some point, because I was up at I think it was probably maybe 2 or 3 a.m. playing video games, as you do. I think I was playing Planet Side 2.
Great game.
Was what I was
Great
playing.
game.
Great game. Great game. I have a poster of it, literally right over there.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, wow.
It's framed.
It is framed.
For
I don't
the
have
record.
it hung up anywhere. Yeah. Planet Side 2.
The machete is more important.
Yeah. So it's like 2 a.m. and I have a dog, right? I have a dog that loves
He's
to
an
bark.
asshole.
Loves to bark at literally everything and anything that he can. He lives outside. He's in a pen.
He kind of barks more at women, though.
Yeah, he's vaguely
Yes, he's very
kind of
sexist.
vaguely
yeah.
Maybe an
sexist,
insult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just maybe?
It's okay.
He might
I'll
be
take
part
it.
of the insult community.
Yeah. Maybe.
If he had a Reddit, let's just say this.
I mean, he does not have balls anymore.
If he had access to Reddit, he probably would be.
yeah.
Anyway.
That's fair to say.
Probably. Well, back to the story. Yeah, so it was probably like 2 a.m. and I'm in the main house. And my room used to sit right next to where his dog pen was outside.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting playing this game, and I hear him start going nuts. He's just barking, and he's so loud. It's like he's gonna wake up everybody in the house. I'm like, what on earth is going on? So I kind of ignore him for a little while. I'm like, I gotta finish this game at Planet Side. You know, I gotta, get through with what this is. It's more important, obviously. But he just keeps barking, and it's so loud. It's like he's right next to my window, and he actually was. Usually, Twister is the name of my dog. Usually Twister, when he's barking at something, he'll run to the edge of the fence, and he'll get as close to it as he possibly can to bark at it. But he's like right underneath my window, against the wall of the house, and he's just barking his head off. So I'm like, okay, what the heck could he possibly be barking at? So I stand up, and I peer through my blinds on my window, and I look outside, and I see what I can only describe as an orb of light, but it's weird. It's weird to describe because it was as if it was just outside of the fence of his pen, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of large. It was maybe a foot in diameter, not radius, I'd say. And it was glowing, but it wasn't glowing such that it illuminated the ground underneath it.
It wasn't emitting light.
Yeah, it was bright, but it wasn't reflecting off of anything. It was really strange.
That's really weird.
And it was outside of the pen. And my dog is just sitting underneath my window, as far away from it as he can possibly be, just barking his head off. And I stare at it for a second, and it's I notice it's moving after a little while of just looking at it. I'm just absolutely dumbfounded, trying to figure out in my mind, trying to come up with a reasonable explanation for what this thing could possibly be.
How fast was it moving, would you say?
Pretty slowly. It was very slow, like hover. If a person was walking, unintentionally somewhere.
Like the mall stroll, as we
Yeah, kind of around that speed is what it felt like. And
so, just one thing I remember you saying about it is what's weird. What was especially strange about it was an orb of light, but it wasn't casting light on the ground.
Yeah,
I think we
Yeah,
said
I did say that a second ago. But it was very strange. I could not explain it, to this day what it fully looked like, and I think it was kind of like a white, bluish maybe color.
Like kind of like
I don't know if we
really
discussed color
bright,
last
like
time.
street lights or something. Kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't like blinding where I had to like squint at it. It was like glowing. It's really weird.
That's weird.
So I'm just staring at it. I stared at it for like maybe like a solid 3 to 5 minutes, just looking at this thing as it slowly floated across my property. Because I'm just like, I'm thinking in my head, like, what could this possibly be? It doesn't look like a light that somebody's like carrying. It's not a flashlight for sure. And I don't see like the silhouette of a figure around it, and it's not like reflecting off the ground. I had no idea. So after a little while, I grabbed my phone, and I regret this so much. I grabbed my phone and I tried to take a couple pictures of it. But in like my, at this point I was getting like kind of creeped out. I was getting like, you know, a little bit anxious, I guess.
And we should say that you didn't have a good phone, didn't you? It was like kind of a, was it your old shitty one?
At this point I had, it wasn't my LG Expression. I think I had this phone.
Oh,
The
so
one
it was
that I
like a
had.
decent.
really?
So it was like a decent camera.
It was a decent camera, yeah. So it was dark though, and when I went and I took a couple pictures of it, and I looked through the pictures and I was like, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't really make it out. It was like, it kind of, I think if I remember correctly, it looked like kind of like somebody was shining a flashlight. It didn't look like it had captured what I was seeing properly, and I deleted them. And I was,
Damn it.
and literally later that night, I was like, why the fuck did I delete those pictures?
That hurts, man.
I was
But-
so mad.
But your brother was living in this cabin at the time, right?
So yeah, so my brother was living in this cabin. So after I tried to take a couple pictures, I was like, all right, this isn't working. I deleted them. I grabbed my machete. Because, you know, it was the only weapon I had at the moment.
Oh,
Was it
I'm like, I'm gonna
we
kill
should-
me some aliens.
Yeah,
No.
we should say that the cabin and the house are separated by Twister the dog's pen.
Yes.
They're
yeah.
not terribly, they're not like miles apart, they're like pretty close.
Yeah, it's a good, like, maybe, like, I don't know, 60, 70 feet probably
Yeah.
is what we're talking.
Was
and-
it in between, or was it like out?
It was like, so the barn is back there. It was like on the corner of the fence over in that direction.
Yeah, okay, so
if
there's,
you're
like-
listening to this, you can't see where I'm pointing.
Yeah, so there's the main house, there's Twister's pen, this is like in order of property, there's the cabin, and then there's a barn.
Yeah,
like, right behind
yeah.
it. After
And
this little
it was
space.
in the opposite corner from where the cabin is to the house. It was on that fence, and it was drifting away, kind of diagonally away from my property. So after I failed with the pictures, I grabbed my machete and I went outside. And at this point, it had gotten pretty far away. When I got over to the cabin, which my brother Adam was living here at the time, I walked out front and I looked for it, and I could see it off in the distance. It was still glowing, but it was on my neighbor's property at this point. And so I was like, I want to get up close to it, but I don't want to like trespass. So I knocked on my brother's door, and he comes out. Of course, it's like 2 or 3 a.m. He's playing video games.
Obviously both of y'all are still awake,
Obviously,
yeah.
yeah, he's wide awake.
Lord.
And I'm like, could you come look at this for a second? He's like, yeah, okay, sure. I think he's playing like WoW or something. And he came out, and I was like, I explained to him, you see that orb over there? And he was like, or you see that light? And he was like, yeah. That was, and I said something along the lines of, that was like an orb that was floating next to the dog pen. That's what Twister's been barking at. I'm sure you heard him. He was like, yeah, he was pretty loud. And then while we're sitting there talking about it, it just disappears. It just turns off while we're sitting there both standing in a line looking at it. It just disappears.
Like, how far away were you at from it?
So at that point, it was like, there's a tree line over there. It was probably like, I don't know, it was a good couple, like, few hundred feet maybe. It was
Okay.
it was a ways out.
Yeah.
It had gone pretty far, and it just disappeared. And I don't know if it moved behind a tree, if it poofed out of existence, whatever. But he commented, he was like, wait, did it just disappear? I was like, yeah. And I don't know if he kind of believed me or not, but he was like, okay, that's creepy, and then went back inside and started playing games. And I was like, alright, whatever, let me sleep on this. I need to think about it. Literally, as I walk into my room, I'm like, I should not have fucking deleted those pictures.
Ah, that bothers me, man.
Because,
That sucks.
oh man. And to this day, I have absolutely no explanation for it. And I'm disappointed that I didn't, like, get close to it. If it happened again to me today, I would 100% in a heartbeat just run outside and try and go up to it, try and see.
Really?
Like, yeah,
God.
I would.
No,
I
fuck
would.
that.
Yeah, screw that.
I
one.
would.
That's-
Do you want to call Adam?
Like right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should.
Live? No.
I don't know.
No, phone quality is
I don't know.
terrible.
Actually, what time is it? He might be working.
It's like
no,
6.
he's probably not. He's probably not working.
7. Wow.
Yeah. But,
I will talk to him. I'll talk to him about it next time we have a D&D session together.
yeah,
And I'll see if he
That's pretty
remembers
cool.
it.
I love that story. That's
He
a very,
didn't
I've
see it
never-
up close though. He only saw it like really far off in the distance.
Yeah.
So
At
it
that
probably
point,
looked like a flashlight.
yeah, at that point it definitely looked like a flashlight light or one of the house lights. You know, it looked like something like that. And I would swear on my life that this happened to me, but I cannot for anything explain what it could possibly
Yeah.
be.
The only so this I don't think is like something weird or spooky or whatever, but the only thing I've never had anything weird happen to me, but recently at my house, so we have a 4-wheeler. I live on a farm, a big like hay farm, and we get a lot of boars and wild animals and stuff. So my dad has these motion capture like cameras all over the place that will go off and like wake him up basically if something's on the property, so he can kind of chase it off with the 4-wheeler. The last few nights at like 2 or 3, I don't sleep very well, but so at like 2 or 3 a.m. I hear it driving around, but like, or I hear what it sounds like. It's an 80s Honda 4-wheeler, so it's very loud and it's
Right.
got a very unique like rumble to it. Yeah. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live on almost 200 acres. Like my only neighbor is my great aunt, who's like 80 or 90. Like she doesn't move a lot, and then.
she's doing wheelies out there.
So the last few nights has been really strange. It's like my internet went out, so I can't like listen to stuff. I usually listen to stuff to fall asleep, or I couldn't watch Netflix or anything like that. So I was just chilling in bed with my kitten, and I like hear it going off for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I keep looking around. Like I walked around the house trying to find where he was. I don't know why, because he gets drunk a lot. So like I usually get worried if he's out 4-wheeling on our farm at 3 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I couldn't find it, and this has happened like the last like 3 or 4 nights where he's like the garage light has not been on, which it stays on for a while after the garage is opened, and our garage also squeaks really loudly, and I haven't heard that. So like the garage is pretty much closed. I guess I haven't checked, but yeah, it's really weird. And I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like unless someone is illegally driving another 4-wheeler on my property at 3 in the morning. Like I have no idea what
That's
the noise
a
is.
possibility.
It is a possibility.
that's
It has happened. We're not farmers ourselves. Basically, we like lease out the land for other people to kind of like we
Right.
let them grow their crops on our land, and we get a portion
You get
of
like a
it's
tax basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically so we don't have to pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
But it's possible. But like they're farmers. They don't come out at 3 in the morning. They come out at 7 or
Yeah.
8 or so. But that's been weird. I mean, not that I think it's anything like.
Possibly spooky.
It's not
Yeah, possibly spooky.
possibly
It's just
spooky.
weird. Like I can't like. I don't know.
Possible
Yeah.
spooky alert.
Mildly.
If nothing
inexplicable.
else, I'm creeped out that there may or may not be someone who just drives around on my property that isn't
3
my
in the
dad
morning.
at 3 in the
Yeah.
morning. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that
equally
was
as
that.
creepy.
It's even weirder if you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, like there was one time my dad was asleep and I had snuck out. Well, we don't even talk about that. But I went through a phase. But and
phase.
the person dropped me off at the foot of my driveway, which isn't super long, but it's in between. Like we have the house on one side, and the other side is like the pasture, basically, like the field. And they dropped me off in front of my mailbox. And I was walking up, and I turned around, and there's just a dude that is not the one that dropped me off. This dude just walking across like the street, and I texted the person that dropped me off, and I was like, "Was there a person just walking down the street?" And he's like, yes, that was weird. It was like a man just walking down my road at 3 in the morning. So maybe it's him. I don't know.
Down like an old country road.
Yeah.
Take me
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. He was like, I got out of there as fast as I fucking could, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm in the house.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
that was interesting.
That was interesting.
There was a time that I got mildly spooked for a moment. It was Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure I told y'all this story. And you'll remember once I start talking about it. So Thanksgiving, I think it was last Thanksgiving, we had just finished dinner with my family, and me and my dad were walking outside to check something, look at a vehicle or something. Something was wrong with something. And
Very descriptive.
yeah. So me and my dad were walking outside, and we're just casually talking, you know, and all of a sudden this guy, just a random guy, walks out from behind one of our vehicles that we have parked, like a decent distance inside our property line. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
there aren't usually just guys in my
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
I mean,
James,
not on weekdays at least.
James lives sort of like James lives sort of like I do, where he's kind of got no real neighbors like around, and the other side is just a field that no one lives on.
Yeah, it's mildly isolated.
Yeah.
And there's just this guy, and I like thought I had imagined it at first, and he was like, he just kind of said like hello or something, and I was just like, I ignored it the first time. I was like, I'm going crazy.
So
Yeah,
what time
obviously.
was this?
This was probably like maybe 10 or 11
Okay.
p.m. at night. It wasn't super late. We just wrapped up our Thanksgiving basically, and so me and my dad like kind of looked around for a second, and then we looked at this guy, and we were just like, wait, there's a guy just kind of standing on our property, and I was like, all right, are we about to get robbed? What's going on? And I was just assuming the worst, but this guy had wrecked his vehicle like a mile down my road, and because he dodged a cow, I think was what he said, and he went off and rolled into a field. He overcorrected, rolled through a ditch, and
I
over
had
into
not
a
heard this
field.
story.
You didn't hear the story?
I did. I remember.
Yeah, I remember
I
this
told
one.
some of you, yeah. And this guy, he was beat up. He was really in bad shape. He was like, his arm was messed up. He had like made a makeshift brace out of his shirt, and his legs were kind of messed up too a bit. And he had walked an entire mile, checking all the houses on there, trying to find somebody who was like awake and not in home. And he didn't
Yeah.
find anybody until he got to our house. And he just happened to catch us as me and my dad were walking outside.
To leave?
Yeah,
like-
we were. Well, I was about to go back out to the cabin, and my dad was gonna go to the shop, I think. We were looking at something, and he was walking by, and he was looking around, and he was in really bad shape. He had been, and we took him inside, and my mom got out some of her motherly medicine.
Yeah, mom.
You know,
yeah,
mom kits.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Mom first aid.
So we patched him up a little bit, what we could, and then we called an ambulance. Actually, no, we didn't call
Did
an
he
ambulance.
not have his phone?
We didn't call an ambulance because he said he didn't have his phone. He lost his phone in the wreck.
Oh.
His vehicle rolled like probably a good 6 or 7 times in that field.
Damn.
Wow.
Because we drove out, because we decided, we called his mom on one of our phones.
Wait, his mom. How old is he?
So he was he had drove down from somewhere else for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I think he was in his 20s, maybe
Okay.
mid-20s, early 20s.
And he didn't want to call an ambulance?
So yeah, he didn't want to call an ambulance. He was like, he said he just wanted to go basically back to his parents' house, and maybe stay there for the night or whatever, and figure out if he thinks it was really bad. His arm, I'm pretty sure, was broken. I don't remember. I think he sent my mom an update later, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was okay. He ended up being like not horribly hurt. He looked really bad.
Yeah.
But he ended up being mostly okay. But me and my dad drove him down to the wreck site where he wrecked his vehicle to A, look for his phone, and B, also meet his parents there, who were going to drive up they lived a little ways down the road, like 10 minutes or so. And so we drove him out to that wreck site, and his vehicle was so far into this field. And you could see where it had rolled like a good 6 or 7 times.
Wow.
And it was a truck. I think it was a pickup truck, and there was leftover turkey in the back, and it was so sad.
Oh, that's very
it was
depressing.
ruined. It was really
That's a
sad
real
to see
horror
that.
story.
Yeah,
Dude, that's like a
There's the real
metaphor.
Was
horror
there
story.
like smoke coming off of the truck?
There wasn't any smoke because he had left it for a while.
Okay.
He had been walking for, I think he said, like 30 minutes or so.
Damn.
Man.
Because I remember when I had a car wreck, there was like smoke coming out of the front of the car, and that was like scary.
Yeah.
Same when I wrecked the Tahoe.
Yeah.
See, and when I wrecked the truck, it wasn't smoking, but I was in kind of like a state of shock. Like I just like couldn't talk or anything. Like I don't remember most of it, but
Right.
I relate to that guy. Like I just wanted to go home.
He was like, I don't want to mess with the hospital tonight. You know, he was like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I can last. I'll
Especially
just
if
go
it
to
was
someplace
late.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was pretty late. Yeah.
Mine was at 11 in the morning, and I like slept for the rest of the day, which I probably shouldn't have because I'm pretty sure I had like a minor concussion.
He had it was kind of incredible actually because looking at his like his seats, his front seats, his passenger side seat. If there was a person sitting there, they'd be dead.
Mm-hmm.
It was so crumpled, but his driver's side was in a pretty good condition for what his vehicle
That's
went through.
insane.
He was incredibly lucky.
Yeah, stuff
get
like
out
that in the country can happen a lot and can be really dangerous because
There's not many people around.
there's a lot of back
He
roads.
was
Like
lucky to
a
find
lot
us.
of us live on like remote roads. Like I think 5 people live on my street because it's like all of us have like decent amount of land. We're all
Yeah.
pretty separated. We don't like talk to people.
You don't bring each other pies every weekend.
Yeah, no, well, my grandma used, but that's a different story. But yeah, because you can be in a ditch for like 8 hours before someone drives by and
And
sees you.
if your
Especially
legs
at
are
night.
broke or something, you know,
Yeah.
you're not walking a mile. That's
Yeah.
for sure. This guy was lucky he didn't break any of his
Especially at
legs.
night, because there's no street lights on back roads. There's no, if someone's lights don't go over your car, like they're not gonna see you, unless you have someone like waving them down, or you can call someone. Like that kind of stuff, I feel like happens a lot in the country. All right, well, I think we're about out of time.
That's probably that's probably enough for today.
Still place to end it.
All right, we will see y'all
Looking
later.
good.
Well, that is the end of ESM Podcast episode 2.
Episode 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Episode 2.
Find some women hating stuff. I had a
I
dude
like
like
that shit.
strapped onto me.
Daddy.
Yeah, daddy.